Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to podcasts here on Rocket League Ireland, RL Ireland as we're also known. We're here for the 2v2 monthly league podcast. I'm joined on the desk today by a man who's no stranger to podcasts, actually. It's his second appearance on the podcast. SlikMik, how are we keeping, man? You good?
Not too bad, Robert. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you very much. Well, actually, I'm kind of dying with a cold here, as I'm sure everyone will be pointing out to me after listening to the podcast, because all I'm going to go doing is this. But look, we'll get through it, Mick. We'll get through it. But
Yeah,
Mick,
soldier on.
yeah, let's get briefly into last season. Guys, for those of you who don't know, the 2v2 league basically is kind of an open sign-up league for anyone that's Irish or anyone who's got a significant contribution to the community. And basically, they choose who they team up with, and they basically play a number of games to decide who goes up and down the divisions. Basically, just a league system. Mick, last season we had season one, of course, and we'll get into your astonishing achievement in the lovely rank C last season. But let's kind of work our way from bottom to top. In rank E, we had Lima Vegas of Jamisaurus and Cheds and bench warmers of Adequate Llama and BJ Pogs, but they didn't promote, unfortunately. They got beaten by Dave Forehead somehow. Forehead actually won a game. We'll never know. Mick, I said it before, Jamisaurus, there's no hope for the man, but there is hope.
There is. Yeah, like, because even when we played in the 6-man thing, he did show promise, so it's not, you know what I mean? Like, I think he genuinely, at least should have gone up, you know what I mean? Because I am quite happy for the chap. You know what I mean? It looks like they absolutely dominated rank E as well. So, yeah, fair play to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Himself and Chad's have a formidable duo in that. And to be honest, I think if he just stuck out the 6 months, he would have been fine. But look, that's another conversation for another day. Juicy having a decent season there. Aaron and Smoke, Jesus, of course. You had Lithium with Warfare and SBF. Warfare making his return to the center stage. The only guy ever in Diamond or Platinum even to play in a grand final of a LAN in Ireland. And Vikings, unfortunately, they got beaten in all their games. Unfortunately, Griffin not able to quite carry Archer at this moment in time, but that's just the way it is, I suppose. Mick, any surprises here? I think this is how we kind of expected to play out. Maybe bench warmers were a bit of a surprise, but that's about it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think everything there kind of played out as it should. Maybe I'm a bit surprised that Aaron ended up finishing in third and not getting second. I mean, that's probably the only surprise really. But apart from that, everything there kind of looks like how you would have thought it would. Yeah,
sure,
absolutely.
Unfortunately, of course, John had to pull out. His teammate DYNX Ben said he no longer had time for Rocket League anymore, although he's always posting clips on Twitter. Right, Mick, let's go to rank D then. And this was an interesting one. Unfortunately, Norse Kings couldn't play. I have no idea why, even though they signed up. Pigeon FC went into the relegation playoffs. That's Dave Forehead, of course. And Chung, unfortunately, not quite able to carry Dave Forehead to the promotion that many people probably expected of him. Forehead is, of course, a huge burden, as we know, having ran this community with him. Mick, Air Goodman, of course, Extreme Nolander pulled out after he cried a little bit about, a player that's slightly better than what he should be in this division. We won't get into that little fiasco, but of course, babies always cry in this situation. What are our thoughts first in the bottom three? Was that kind of how you expected it to go?
Yeah. Basically, now to be honest, you're kind of looking at the players and the teams, and then looking at kind of who made up the top 3 or 4. You know, it is basically how I would have seen it playing out. Yeah, 100%. Especially considering you have Davy Baby and Fergalicious up at top now. Davy Baby, as you said, was the center of a bit of controversy, but yeah, it is overall how I did expect it to go. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but at least now he's in the right place, I guess.
Exactly.
And yeah. Look at the other side of the table then with Focus, of course. That was Sean of Nintendo and the Gaming Puma. They had a fairly solid season. They didn't do too badly. They held their own, and I'm sure they'll be looking to make a real impact this season. But we'll talk about them a bit later. Total Recall, of course, were also the victims of the extreme Nolander disease. Dank, GH. I don't know, that guy, he obviously didn't enjoy his time a lot, considering he got reset on and freaked the bean, but that's just the way it is. Fua, of course, wasn't too bad. He kind of I think he would have sticked around had his teammate not completely went off the railings and gone to 5B, but that's just the way it is. But Mick,
Yeah,
the season was kind of a standout from Davy Baby and Fergalicious. Of course, Davy probably
100%. Yeah.
too good from this division, but let's not skip over Bland with Orpheusty and Zexel 99. They're looking good, and they're going to be in your old division next season.
Yeah. Yeah, fair play to them. They also played quite well to get up there in second in only 4 games as well. So that is certainly quite the achievement. Yeah, fair play to them.
Yeah, I think the irony is Total Recall would have actually promoted.
Yeah.
But they decided to leave the league instead and cry about it rather than stay in there, have the playoff promotion spot, and try and battle their way up there and had they deserved. But instead they decided to cry about it, even though they only lost one series, which was to the team that
Yeah.
ended up first. I mean, if you're complaining about someone that's better than you, look, that's a conversation
Yeah.
for another day. But yeah, look, rank D was quite interesting. There were some surprising results there. I think that's because we didn't expect Davy Baby to be quite as good as we all thought. But well done to him and Fergalicious for making that promotion run. Well done to Chung and Forehead for staying up as well. That would have been quite embarrassing for Forehead had he ended up in rank E. He probably would have had to get his admin tag removed off him there. And yeah, not much else to say there, really, Mick, is there?
No, nothing else really. Everything kind of played out roughly as you would have expected. There isn't really anything that's massively surprising to me anyway. So yeah.
Cool. All right, let's move on to rank C. Mick.
Oh
Now,
yes.
the Rye Boy told me a story, right? He said, a short look back to the past, okay? He
Yeah.
taught you how to play Rocket League, and that is how you got your GC. And even with this GC reward, Lucra still managed to take you to the top of the table, even though you were a massive burden to him.
Well, obviously, I mean, if you're looking at the 2v2 league, then student obviously became teacher because I did slap him 3 games in a row. So it's absolutely, you know what I mean? I mean, that's fine. You know what I mean? That's fine.
Well,
that's,
Anakin kind of did that to Obi-Wan in the end. I mean, he did get slapped around originally, but he brought it back in the end and, sent Obi-Wan to death. But that's unfortunate there. But look, double commit in the end. Shawnee, Cosmo, Yaman. I think their only win was a forfeit when they were completely outclassed in this division. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, they just kind of struggled to keep up with the pace. You know what I mean? Like kind of not noticing danger early enough, that kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
Which happens a lot with kind of low ranked players and people that don't have as many hours in the game and things like that. So yeah, no, look, it was just a case where they just couldn't keep up, unfortunately. But hopefully now they'll be able to make a big push then in
And what were Supernova like? They kind of surprised me a lot. I thought they'd do a slight bit better. I know Geno wasn't that experienced, but Joe wasn't too bad, was he? Or how was he?
No, they were actually quite good, to be honest with you, because I was actually pleasantly surprised by them because they were a lot faster than what I was expecting. I was expecting to be able to kind of outpace them, but they were getting up nice and early for balls and things like that. So I am actually quite surprised to see him down there, to see him down in that in the
relegation
two,
playoff,
but yeah, relegation, yes. But it's like, yeah, I was certainly surprised to see him down there, yeah, because they are actually quite quick.
Yeah.
I was very surprised.
Understood. They beat you twice, if I remember correctly. J2 and Hasco 2. No, Hasco 2 in my mind, I think, along with you, I was saying this to you yesterday, I think Hasco 2 is probably one of the best players in this division in a 2v2 environment. I think clearly Rez is the best in the 3v3 environment, I would say. You're up there as well, but in a 2v2 environment, Rez is quite a bit down the pecking order. Hasco 2 and J2, they beat you twice. How did this happen, Mick? How did you let this happen?
They were good, man. Like, do you know what I mean? They were good, like, because, like, I don't know, with the other teams, I felt like a lot of the time we could kind of just play around them and just keep up with a lot of midfield pressure and stuff like that, but they just didn't let us do that. And then we kind of ended up shitting the bed a bit then when we couldn't. So, yeah, thankfully they ended up not being able to finish the season. Otherwise, we could have been a bit of bother now, but, yeah, no, they were very good. I'm assuming they're back next season, are they?
They are, and they're teamed up again with the same team name. It's a great story behind that team name. Hasco messaged me, and I asked him for a team name, and he just said understood, as in to say, yeah, okay, no problem, I'll get back to you. Whereas I took that as his team name and had already announced it, so Hasco just decided to go with it. So that's a lovely little piece of trivia there, lads. So the name understood is actually a meme now in Rocket League Ireland. But look, second place, Redemption. This is quite an interesting one that we'll get into shortly when we're talking about the transfers, Mick. But second place of I'm Seconds and Spud Muncher, the redemption of FBI Quark and Rez, two teams that I think we all expected to be kind of mid-table, thereabouts.
Yeah.
In my mind, but the big surprise for me was the Ryby and Ruffs getting second place. In my mind, they wouldn't be the second best team in my mind in the division in terms of pure skill and pace, but they managed to grind it out in the end. So fair play to them. What do you think of that?
Yeah, so like it kind of because it's kind of similar to the six mans in the way that like it's always kind of like most of the time the people at the top of the table are the ones that end up playing the most games, and it's kind of what you're seeing there as well. Like you know what I mean? Like besides us, they have at least 3 more games over anyone else, even 4. Like so, you know what I mean? I think they just kind of got their games in, played as much as they could. And I mean, fair play to them. They certainly should be up there. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you
Absolutely.
slapped them, right?
Oh yeah, like but that's fine. Like you know what I mean? That's you know what I mean? That's just standard.
Oh, is it?
So
That's just standard,
yeah,
is it? Fair
yeah,
enough, fair enough. I mean, like
yeah,
Ruffs didn't surface for about a week after that one. It's
yeah.
no,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
why he's now called Roofs instead, because he got slapped so badly that he can't pronounce his own name. Mick, I watched one of your series. I think it was against Cosmo, Yaman, and Shawnee, and I think that was actually
Yeah,
the best that they played that season, from what I heard.
yeah, yeah,
From what other people said, I was really surprised about how well they played because they took a game or two off you. I think they took 2 games off you, even indeed. But
yeah,
obviously, lucky we're a class apart in the division. The only team that really threatened you was Understood, but unfortunately they weren't quite able to understand the rules, so they didn't show up for half the season. But you took it home in the end, a nice,
yeah.
comfortable winning margin. And yeah, quickly, what are your kind of thoughts and expectations going into season 2? I guess, are you happy enough, or I mean,
Oh
we'll
yeah.
talk about your little traitorous move later on, shall we say?
Oh, splendid, splendid. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. What are my thoughts going into next season? I honestly think we'll do fine, to be honest.
Don't reveal who
Yeah,
your teammate is yet. Wait, don't say it. Just say the guy, because you're going
yeah,
to be
the
like,
guy.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, me and the guy are going to do a
yeah,
really good season. Just leave it for people who don't actually can't use Discord. But go
yeah,
on.
yeah. But anyway, yeah, I think we'll do okay, to be honest. It'll certainly be a lot more challenging than last season. We've already done a few scrims versus teams, and so far the pace definitely stepped up. So, yeah, I'm certainly looking forward to the challenge now. To be completely honest, yeah, I'm looking forward to kind of bump up in pace. You know what I mean?
Well,
Um,
good, very good.
and yeah, it's going to be a lot more. You know what I mean? We can't just kind of half rotate and just keep midfield pressure the whole time now. So we're going to have to really, you know what I mean?
Change
I'm
the
going
game
to have
plan.
to change the game plan and use some other tools in the arsenal.
Oh, is that right? Is it? What tools
Yeah, yeah.
would those be now, Mick? Are there any
You'll
hacks or
see.
anything
You'll
that you want
see.
to?
You'll see.
Oh, okay. We'll see. Well, Mick, look, I'm very proud of you. You are, of course, the love child of me and the Rye Boy. So congratulations on that
Thank you.
promotion to
Thank you,
rank
Father.
C. And I guess it has to be mentioned that before we get on to rank B, that Ultraside were the team that played United Ireland, and the Rye Boy and Ruffs did take them down 3-1 in series. Now Airside played on PS4, but you'd still expect the higher division team to come along and beat the lower division team there. And I think it has to be said that they did a really good job there. So well done to those two guys. They're really stepping up to the table. They've got a very good chemistry and a good understanding of what they're doing, and you'll be seeing them again next season in Rank B, Mick.
I will do.
That'll be.
And I can't wait. I can't
All right, Mick.
wait.
Rank B, of course. Look, I have to say it was a very difficult season for us. 6-0, tough season.
Yeah. Yeah. Tough season.
We
Yeah.
we were really up
Struggled.
against it in every game. Yeah, very hard season. Surprised that no one else could actually win a game pretty much across the board. So yeah, but no,
Oh, good lord.
no, it was a good season. As
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone knows, look, probably shouldn't have been in that division, but that was back when I actually played the game, so it's probably more accurate of where I should be now. But yeah, no, me and Sam had it kind of under control. I think the only team that really troubled us was Lynxie and Parable. And Parable had an excuse about his controller. No idea if it was 100% true or not, but Parable and Lynxie, I definitely think are going to be my tip to put pressure on Rank B next season. But we'll see. Audacity, of course, pulled out. We slapped them in one series so badly that they just didn't want to play anymore, so they've stopped playing twos altogether. It was a really embarrassing series.
Oh man.
Ultraside, they like playing us. they just couldn't win. But no, Connor Moore was actually okay. Airside just needs to learn how to play the game a bit more. Disconnected, unfortunately. I think that team name, which was Linksy and Parables, that should have gone to Little Dude, to be honest, because he kept disconnecting.
Oh, they stole it.
Yeah,
All right. Oh, yeah. I get
that should have been their team name because unfortunately, Little
it.
Dude, I never really got a chance to see him because it wasn't really a close series. And Intellectuals in the end, Royzer and Chef, they weren't up to the task of going to rank A. I think Chef was definitely their better player there. Mick. So yeah, an interesting season, shall we say, in
Yeah.
the end. But there wasn't much surprise here because this division was really bad for games played and stuff. Because one team dropped out, another team didn't want to play their games, another team couldn't play because their controller wasn't working. There was a lot of issues here, but hopefully that won't resurface next season because the new rules won't allow it. Because if they don't, they won't be in the division very long. But make any surprises here before we go on?
Not really. To be completely honest, the only real surprise maybe is Airside and Connor Moore probably going down to C. I thought they would at least be able to keep their rank B spot, but look, you know what I mean. Stuff happens, as they say. But yeah, that's kind of the only real surprise. Everything else kind of looks as it certainly should for me,
Sure.
or from my perspective at least. You know.
All right, rank A, Mick. Finally, before we finish up this recap of season one. Mick frontliners ended up winning. PFG didn't get their games in, thus they've been kicked from the league and banned from all online tournaments for the next 3 months. As with anyone that's left the league, like the Airside or the Gitsies, the Nailers, the Cardans, etc. Guys, for not playing their games, so unless you give a legit reason, which they didn't. So frontliners ended up winning the league, got a few keys there. Eminem came third, of course. There was a big battle between third, fourth, and fifth, which was Eminem, Donegal FC, and Skyline, consisting of Darcy Dry, Marco Mayday, and Crossy Ghost, and Oblivion, of course, were not able to, I guess, really deliver. Originally, it was supposed to be Jaffa and Jakey, but Jakey got embarrassed, I think, and he just didn't want to play twos after that anymore. And unfortunately, our Twitter master decided to just completely forget about twos as a game mode, which is a bit of a shame because I think he'd actually do a bit of damage in rank A, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Mick,
Yes.
final words on this division. What were your thoughts on it?
Well, just based off the record alone, frontliners certainly look like they dominated the rank anyway. Yeah, Walshy's very good along with Red Eyes. Now I'm actually quite surprised about Jaffa and Kip. I thought because Jaffa's really good. I was expecting them maybe to do better, but yeah, sure. Look, it happens, you know, as they say. But yeah, I know everything else kind of looks as it should, really. You know, the kind of 2 to 4 it's not really a massive surprise.
Yeah, sure. The only thing I caveat of that I would say is frontliners, yeah, they did win the division fairly comfortably in the end, 4-1, but 2 or was it 3 of their series went to game 5, which they ended up winning all 3 of those. But like that's still a little bit concerning. Now they won't be able to team next season, Mick, because the team that wins rank A cannot team again. So Red Eyes and Walshy are on different teams, which we're going to get into very shortly with the transfers for season 2. But Mick, that's just something to consider as well. But I think that might be better. I'm not sure if they've got good chemistry in twos. They certainly have in threes, but I'm not sure about twos. But yeah, that's just something to keep in mind as we get in now to season 2. Now, Mick, before we talk about the transfers, I just want to give a shout out to our sponsor for season 2, which is, of course, Nuclear Storm Gaming, the org I play for at the moment in Rocket League, guys. I'm going to link their Twitter, Facebook in the descriptions, as well as linking one of their sponsors, GT Omega Racing, who specialize in the making of gaming chairs and so on. You can get a 5% discount by hitting the link in the description. They're sponsoring us for season 2, guys. Rank A will no longer be called Rank A for season 2. It'll be called the NSG Premier League. Do give them a good bit of support, guys. Check them out. It's kind of what they're looking to see, you know, guys. Get their own name and their brand out there. That's the reason why they're contributing €50 towards the prize pool. So, guys, it's like anything, you know. If you give something to them, they'll give something back. So, guys, do be sure to follow them on Twitter, to give them a like on Facebook, because they'll see those numbers growing, and that's how we basically kind of keep these things going for future seasons. So yeah, you'll find all that in the description. And yeah, great org, of course. I play for them, and good guys there. Stuart runs the org very well there. Mick, let's talk about transfers very quickly. I'm gonna give. You can tell me what transfers have surprised you the most. Don't go through every division because we don't want to spend all day looking at every division's transfers. But what ones, if you were to pick one out of every division that kind of surprised you, what would you say?
Probably Conor Moore and Airside come back together then. Again, I thought, they might have went their separate ways after last season, but they said they'd stick at it and give it a second shot, so fair play to them. That was probably the one that surprised me the most.
Yes,
Apart from that, there's nothing that kind of stands out to me as too crazy, like, you know what I mean? That's kind of the one where I thought, oh, all right, fair enough.
yeah.
And not so much, not surprising in a negative sense, I suppose, but Spud Munter and Rez as well. I think they should do quite well in C this season.
You really do, do you? I would disagree with that
Yeah.
completely because I don't think Rez is
Do you
very good at
think?
twos, and Spud Muncher is very questionable in the 2v2 environment. And from everyone I spoke to last season, I was told that seconds really carried him hard. So I'm a bit surprised that Rez, considering he has more of a reputation, went with Spud Muncher, but I guess that's the kind of original English connection there rather than, like, no offense to my brother FBI Quark, but pretty much everyone will be an upgrade on him in this division. So like only I would say Zexel and Fergalicious will be weaker players. So
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Rez went with Spud Muncher. Seconds was on the table. You could have gotten a Connor Moore, for example. Davy Baby, everyone knows, shouldn't have been in rank D
Yeah.
last season, and people were
Yeah.
saying this guy should be in rank B, not rank C or D. So I'm
Oh.
surprised no one took that guy on an offer. But look, that's the way it is. That would be my one in rank C, so I would agree with you. In
Yeah.
rank E, I think the big surprise, I guess to me was I guess Smoke Jesus picking up Hiccup. I would have picked up an adequate Llama. Like, he had a very good season last season. I'm a bit surprised he didn't pick him up. Or a try hard Eggplant. Eggplant is like, he's champ 1, champ 2, diamond 3
Yeah.
level. That's what I would have looked at there, and I think Smoke Jesus has made a bit of an error there in terms of that. But look, he wants to play with her and he just wants to enjoy himself. No one's going to take anything away from him there. But I'm just a bit surprised that he went with that decision, which I think shows a lack of ambition. But look, if you're happy playing around in the doldrums of rank E, then go ahead and do that. But you won't be getting very far, especially with SBF and Warfare improving all the time. Adokalama and Pogs are going to be the two best, probably not one now, especially with Aaron and Tryhard Eggplant there as well. They're going to be three really strong teams there for me. In rank D, there's only 5 teams, of course.
Yeah.
I actually fancy Cheds and Jammy to go up again, back to back.
Yeah. So do
because
I,
they've
yeah.
got the chemistry. But Mighty Toro and Plummet are going to be very strong as well. They're going to be the best team in that division in my mind.
Yeah.
I think the biggest surprise was the lack of a shake-up from Shawnee, Cosmoyamon, Chunky, Wonk, Tonk, Touch, those guys not mixing it up a little bit. Again, there wasn't really too
Yeah.
much of a surprise there. Whereas, like, you think about rank C and rank E, Mick, I mean, I would have said Spud Muncher Rez, that's a bit of a strange one, or Hiccup and Smoke Jesus, that's a bit of a strange one to me. Rank B, I thought you going with Royzer was a bit of a questionable decision. But look, Chef obviously had snapped up Pat. I can't remember the order. Maybe you snapped up Royzer first, but I think Chef made a very good pickup there. But Pat's been a bit dodgy lately, so he's only have to come back from holidays. So it's a bit of a tough one. And in the NSG Premier League, I probably would have said, I don't know. None of them are really surprising. In my mind, they're kind of roughly what I expected them to be. But yeah, that's kind of it really. Like there's no real big surprises there for me other than the few I mentioned, of course, which are Smoke Jesus Hiccup, and Rez and Spud Muncher. They're kind of the two big ones. What are your thoughts? Firstly, explain your reasoning for picking up Riser. I mean, the guy makes jokes about, strange jokes in general. About his extracurricular activities that he engages in, even though he is, of course, a teacher. So it's a bit strange, to be honest with you, Mick. You've really buried yourself there, Mick.
Well, I mean, mainly, or no, first of all, what it was, because I was expecting to be in rank B originally. You know what I mean? That was some questionable seeding straight off the bat. But
Mick,
yeah. So
you were
I
actually
was
like on
meant
the
to be
bottom end of
in.
rank C, Mick. Hold on, I'm going to interrupt you there
What
now,
do you
Mick.
mean?
Mick, you were on the bottom end of rank C, man. We saw your ranking, where we're like, there's no way this guy's grand champion, so we had to put you way down into rank D. But then Forehead overruled, and he's like, look, you can't put him in
Were you
rank
actually?
D.
No, that is an absolute disgrace. If I was gonna go to rank D, then that's a joke.
Yeah, then you and Davey Baby would have promoted. We would have lost half of the league. It would have been great.
Yeah, splendid. Yeah. Um, right.
Sorry,
So
continue.
you're right. Basically, the main reason I teamed with Ryder because I was gonna team with him originally if I went to rank B, but then I didn't. So then that was fine. And then I basically like agreed with him that like, look, if I go up, so then I mean we'll team together and things like that. But like, yeah, I mean I don't see any problem with it. I think Ryder's quite good. So yeah.
No, of course. Look, Riser is not too bad. It's just that last season, I don't know. Whenever I play against Riser, I feel like he plays bad, but whenever he's like playing without me in the game, whether I'm on his team or against him, he plays okay. So I don't know. Maybe it's just the impact of me mentally on Riser. I have abused Riser in the past. I had to go to confessions for that, so sorry about that, Riser. I do love you, Riser. You're a great man. You make lots of quality memes in general. Some questionable memes, but some quality ones as well. So yeah. All right, look, Mick. The fixtures have been released, guys. You're gonna see them in the description of the video. They will be up in Discord later on, as well. So you will be able to see your games there. But Mick, there's a couple of big changes we need to talk about for season 2.
Yep.
And that is, of course, that the point system is changing. It's no longer just 3 points for a win, 0 for a loss. It's every game in a series is worth a point. So if you end up 3-0, you get 3, the other team gets 0. But if it's a 3-2, you get 3, but the other team gets 2. So every game does count now. And we do want to see some good fighting. And now, guys, this is to be tempered with, of course. Anyone found to be abusing this will not only be kicked from the league, but kicked from the Discord as well. I do pride myself in kicking people from the Discord. It's quite enjoyable watching people getting booted. So hopefully no one will take advantage of that. Mick, as we talked about briefly before we started,
Yeah.
we would be kind of worried a little bit about people taking advantage. But I trust most of my players, most of them, not all of them. But yeah. Well, how do you think that will play, Mick? The change of the point system.
I think it's gonna be great, to be honest with you, because like yeah, you know what I mean. You're kind of fighting for like everything now. You know what I mean, as opposed to just like you know what I mean. If you go down 2-0 in the series, whatever, it's kind of like whatever. You know what I mean. Like at least you have stuff to play for now, no matter whether the score is 3-0 or 3-2, and you know what I mean. It should kind of give more. It should give more teams a lot more motivation to it. At least, well, like say for example, if you're playing somebody you think would probably slap you around the place, and it's like, oh well, you know what I mean. We'll try and take at least a game or two or something off them. You know what I mean, as opposed to just kind of
Exactly, and
going in there
those
thinking
points can come
like,
in very handy at the end of the season, couldn't they?
exactly,
Because
yeah,
like
yeah,
you go up against, say, you're in rank B, a Lynxie and a Parable. Now they're my favourites to go up, in my opinion, but look, who knows? But like, let's just
yeah,
say they play a Ruffs and a Royboy. That should be a 3-0 for Lynxie and Parable there, in my mind. No offense, Royboy, we do find you as a great man, but in my mind that should be a 3-0. But look, if Ruffs and Royboy can scrape a win out of there, like even in one game, that's 1 point. And at the end of the season, let's just say they've lost every game 3-1, and Super Nintendo Chalmers of Little Dude and Lucra lose every game 3-0. United Ireland of Ruffs and Ryboy, they're going to survive, and Little Dude and Lucra are going down because, Mick, at the end of the day, you don't want to finish in last place because that's automatic relegation.
yeah, yeah. That would certainly be morbidly depressing. So yeah, that's definitely not what you want.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool, Mick. So this season we have all of the big teams. Let's go to rank E again. We
Yep.
talked obviously a little bit about a couple of teams there that I think will do well, a couple of teams I think that will struggle. But what are your thoughts here on it? Honestly, Griffin and Paradox, they're both kind of gold level, platinum level players. Dukes of
Yeah.
Hazard are diamond level. Maybe a champ there with Aaron and Tryhard Eggplant. Hiccup and Smoke Jesus, so we got like a plat one with a champ one in Lethal Luck. Lithium, SBF, and Warfare, they're kind of both diamond level, I guess. I haven't seen them in a while. SBF might be good now, actually, I'm not sure. Papa Pogs, Adequate Lama, and Officer BJ Pogs, and Archer and Jish on Vikings. Both platinum level players there as well. Mick,
Yeah.
we've got 3 spots. So first is automatic promotion, second plays fifth, or I guess whoever is second last in the division above, and third plays whoever's third last. Who do you fancy for the top 3 in this situation?
I'd say top of the table is probably going to be Aaron and Eggplant. Purely because they're just a lot higher than the other teams. You know what I mean? And Eggplant's what champ 2, as you said, champ 1, champ 2. So
Yeah, he was
yeah,
champ 2 in one season, but I'm not sure what he's been like. I mean, Smoke Jesus has been champ 2 in one season. I mean, Ryboy was champ 2 once. I mean, like, no one knows how that happened. So,
still is champ 2.
what
Yeah, Rabbi.
is he? Is he champ 2?
I'm nearly sure he is.
Jesus. All right. Well, look. I mean, Lucra was champ 3. Now he's diamond 1. So I mean, that's I don't blame you, Mick, for getting rid of him. To be honest with you, it was a bit of a backhanded move, Mick. To be honest with you, but like, to be fair, I'd be picking up Riser too, even if Riser is the next best thing over Lucra, because I can't believe he's down below in diamond 1. But yeah, I mean, look, Riser is what, like, grand champion and Lucra's plat 1, so that's just the way it goes, I guess, in that situation.
No brainer, really. Yeah.
Yeah, but let's get serious. Who do you think is going to get it? So you said number 1 will be Dukes of Hazzard, Aaron, and Tryhard Eggplant. Who would be your other 2?
Probably in second then. SPF and Warfare maybe. I know SPF from the Six Men's thing, and even though in the Six Men's he kind of struggled to keep up with the pace, he still showed promise. Like, you know what I mean? He still showed promise of being quite good. So I do think he could definitely he could definitely nab that second spot. So how is it working? Is it top 1 and 2 promote automatically, or it's just top 1
No,
and then
just
top?
never. It's just top 1 promotes automatically. Second and
Alright,
third
okay.
go into relegate or promotion playoffs. So second will play
Alright.
second last, third will play third last. But I have to say, for me, I would have said Papa Pogs of Adequate and BJ Pogs would go into second ahead of SBF and Warfare, because they played them multiple times, I think, and they beat them. And not only that, but they were second last season to
Yeah.
I guess the duo of Jamie and Chez, who we saw were pretty much unbeatable. Now the only team that beat Jamie and Chez, on the other hand, on the flip side, Mick, were SPF and Warfare, who beat them on the last day of the season. So Jamie and Chez didn't get their perfect season after all that. But yeah, I mean, I think Hiccup and Smoke Jesus are probably going to be clearly the 4th best team, because I think there's going to be a big gap. Archer and Jish and Paradox and Griffin in my mind. What do you think there?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would completely agree. I mean, Hiccup is plat 1, I think, now. So yeah, I think she's probably going to struggle a fair bit. And then kind of 5th and 6th there, as you said, that'll probably make up the bottom 3. Yeah.
Cool. An Archer, of course, who's known for his feisty behaviour with not arranging games. I'm only joking, Archer. This whole podcast is a joke. Please don't get offended by it, dear God. But I think him and Jish will struggle. But I'd still expect them to beat Griffin and Paradox, because I think Archer is a slightly better player than the two of those guys. But look, we'll wait and see. Mick, let's hop on to Rank D now. So Rank D is a smaller division,
Yep.
right? So this is an
Yep.
interesting one, right? First, automatically promotes. Last, automatically relegates. Second, plays 5th in the other division. It's kind of hard to get your head wrapped around this one, but just follow the colors, right? Whereas the bottom 2 will play at the top. The bottom third last and second last here plays second and third last. In my mind here, I think there's no Buffalo Wings will take it. I think they're way too strong in my mind for everyone else here. I think Cheds and Jamie can make a good run in it though.
Yeah.
100%. Would you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would either I might give second place to either Double Commit or Lima Vegas. Absolutely, yeah. Like, I'd say they'd be competing for second and third.
Cool.
Or competing for second, yeah.
Chonky Wonk Tonk and Touch, we're not sure how they're going to go yet, and I don't think they'll go too well. I think Shaun of Nintendo and the Gaming Puma could be an outsider. To be honest, I fancy all the teams except Air Goodman to do well here, because they'll have no experience playing together, and I have no idea what level Chonky Wong Tonk is at. Touch was like reasonable last season, but it's hard to know exactly where he is now.
Yeah.
Whereas you look at the Buffalo Wings, you look at the other 4 teams here, and they're all duos that play with each other.
Yeah.
And then you look at Air Goodman, and they've probably never even spoken to each other, because they got put together because they were the only 2 players left. So I wouldn't fancy them. I'd put them at bottom right now in this table, and then every other team, it could be up in the air. But I expect the Buffalo Wings to take this. Toro and Plummet have been solid in Division 2, Division 3. I can't remember which one they're in, but they've been solid. So I'd expect them to do well here.
Yeah, because especially because there's only 5 teams, like, every game literally does mean everything, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's only 4 series they play.
That's a bit, but yeah. Exactly, yeah. So it's like, you know what I mean? Every game does mean a fair bit, and with the new game system coming in as well, where each game counts a point. That's gonna, you know what I mean. That's only gonna make it more important. Like, you know what I mean.
But Mick, rank C. Now there are 2 automatic relegation spots. There normally isn't, but just so you understand
Yeah.
this, it's because we need to balance the
Yes.
divisions. Okay. So in
Yeah.
my mind, the bottom 2 here are probably going to be Barzy and FBI Quark, I'd say, and Zexel and Orfiosti, just because Zexel I think is by far the weakest player in the division, so I don't expect him to survive here very long. I think
Yeah.
the other spot will go to probably Davy Baby and Fergalicious, because I think Fergalicious is completely out of his depth, whereas Davy Baby really seriously carried hard. I think Rez and Spudmuncher will miss out in 4th. I'd expect Jada Bray and Haskell to make a good run, same with Connor Moore and Airside. I think Seconds and Tricks could actually do a decent job, but we'll see. I'm not sure what Tricks is. He air rolls for everything. I'm sure he's probably air rolling right now listening to this podcast, so you know, that guy was born to air roll. But yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
But I would definitely think that the weakest team would be Zexel North, not because of anything, but I think it's just because Zexel is just completely out of his element here. I think FBI Quark's out of his element as well in this division. I think he'll be found out as well. Yeah, that's my opinion there, Mick. What would you think?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're not too far wrong, to be honest, Joe. I would probably say, yeah, probably the bottom 2 are probably going to be Bland and who's the other one again? Yeah, Bland and maybe Modified. I think.
Yeah.
Might end up slipping down there, and then I think then the top 3 will probably be made up of the Understood. I honestly think, actually, no. So it's probably going to be Understood, Ultraside, and then I'd say in 3rd then there's going to be Spudmuncher and Rez.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Sure. Okay. Cool. I'll go with that. I mean, look, I'm happy enough with that. This is one of the harder ones to predict because there's more teams, Mick, so it's really harder to predict it. Mick, let's move on to your division. I have you guys coming last because you left your teammate, Lucra. He's going to actually win the division and promote in this situation. No, I'm joking. There's not in any circumstances and under any dimension would that ever happen. No offense, Lucra. But I think the weakest team here have to be United Ireland. I think Ryby and Ruffs have improved a lot, but I think they'll be outclassed. It's just too much of a step up. But then again, Ruffs, I played with him in a random 3v3 tournament. He was better than the 1800 we had in our team. So who knows? We'll see how they go, but I think they will struggle. I think Little Dude and Lucra will also struggle as well. It's really hard for me to say who the strongest team are here. I think Lynxie and Parable will take it based off of what I've seen last season, but Pat's rank was really high in 2s in season 10 before he left for Hungary. So who knows, Mick? I think you're going to be you could be going from anywhere from 2nd to 4th, I would say here, maybe 5th. But you won't be automatically relegating, but I don't think you'll be automatically promoting, Mick. I'm sorry, Mick. All right, don't leave the call. All right, I'm sorry. All right, okay. The Roy paid me to say that. What?
That does not surprise me.
What do you think? How are we feeling going into this season here?
I don't know. Like I'm looking forward to step up, but at the same time, it's going to be a bit. You know what I mean? I'm certainly not going to be as comfortable as I was last season. Yeah, I'd say probably either Jaff and Kip are probably going to be up top. I would say, and then. Maybe Lynxie and Parable, as you said, then in 2nd, and I fancy us to take 3rd, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I fancy us to take 3rd, and then I think at the bottom then is going to be Ruffs and Rabbi, and then in 2nd last place then would be Little Dude and Lucra.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think the bottom 2 I think are fairly nailed on, unless I see something from them that really changes my mind. But we'll see. I mean, Little Dude has lag problems. They could easily finish last if Luke was having to 1v2. Whoever finishes last in this division, I think, are probably good enough to bounce back and come back up in season 3 from season 4, in my mind. But who knows? People could improve a lot. I think if people in lower divisions are a bit more intelligent with their teams that they pick, they should be better off in future. But look, that's just my opinion on it anyway. All right, cool, Mick. Let's move on to the NSG Premier League right now. You've got your boy here in Quali Line Gang. Yes, let's go, boys. You know, cutting corners, you know. But I think it's going to be a tough season. I think me and Ghost will probably be in the lower end of the table, if I'm honest, because we just don't play as much Rocket League. I think it'll be similar enough for Crossy and Sam as well.
Yeah.
I think they'll struggle a little bit as well. But Sam always plays a lot of Rocket League, so it's hard to know. Cans and Shallow will
Yeah.
struggle. Mayday and Red Eyes will struggle. I actually fancy Darcy, Marco, and Dry and Walshy in this. I think Tipper Gall will take it. I think Walshy's probably the best twos player in this division.
Yeah.
He doesn't even play that much twos, by the way. But Dry is very good at twos. He's definitely a lot better at twos than he is at threes. If there's one place I'd back Dry in, it'll be in a 2v2 environment. I think he's really solid and very fast.
Yeah.
And Marco and Darcy can make a good impression too. Mayday and Red Eyes I'm not sure about, but I'd expect them to go top 3, and if they don't finish top 3, that's a huge disappointment on their part. It would be a disaster.
Yeah.
I think once we don't finish last, me and Ghost will probably call it a successful season, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I'm sure Cans and Shallow and Sam and Crossy will say the same, because we're all playing F1 pretty much non-stop at the moment. So
Yeah.
it's a tough one for a lot of us, you know. As I'm sure you've seen, Nick, in general, with all the pictures going up of like what's going on here. There's
I
like
have
12
indeed,
of us,
yeah.
12 of us in competitive F1, but yeah. Yeah, but look, you don't know who's going to take the title, the €50 for winning the NSG Premier League. But what do you think, Mick?
I think, I think up the top is probably going to be Dry and Walshy. Yeah, Walshy's just really good. And then in second, I'd actually fancy Mayday and Red Eyes to come in second. And then in third, then probably the Crossy and Sam in third, I would say. And then who do I think could go down? Probably you and Ghost.
Let's go.
So-
I've always wanted to relegate, to be honest. I want to go back to rugby and slap people around. Get absolutely shit on you, Mick. It would be fun. The press riser again, make him disconnect from the call. Great crack. Yeah, that's what I've always wanted.
Oh no. Oh man.
But yeah, thank you very much, Mick.
No worries.
It's been a good session, I think. I think we have to say. It's just a bit of fun, these podcasts, at the end of the day, just throwing out a few jabs here and there, Mick. I still have to say that you're a bit of a snake, but look, that's just the way it goes, Mick.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it, you know what I mean? Shit happens.
So Pat Mustard. But yeah, and Walshy obviously paid you off as well to say that he was going to finish first, because considering he's from Tipperary, he's 20 minutes over the road from me, he'd probably give you a bag for that. But look, well done anyway in that situation there, Mick. Big shout out to our sponsors, Nuclear Storm Gaming, NSG, very chill guys there. Me and Stuart get on really well, pretty chill in that environment, and yeah, they're great sponsors of us, very supportive, and we probably wouldn't be here without their support. So guys, make sure you check them out. Give them a good follow on all the platforms there. We'll be back at the end of the season. It'll probably pretty much be a monthly podcast going forward. We're probably going to combine it with the 6-man's one as well. We'll have to see how it goes in future. And yeah, don't forget, guys, QCon 1st of September in Belfast, 2v2 LAN, and you've got EGW, the big 1500 prize pool in Dublin. I can't remember the date or that exactly. I think it's the 21st of September. That's on in Croke Park. So we hope to see you there on Saturday for that one. So Mick, thanks very much for being on the podcast. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, and
It's been a pleasure.
and we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.